It is planned to sink the SS United States. However, the next chapter of the iconic ocean ship has been delayed due to additional wrinkles. At the end of last year, the majestic SS United States, America's flagship, was ready to go on her farewell journey from Philadelphia to the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico, where she would be transformed into an artificial reef. The ocean liner, which broke the transatlantic speed record on her first journey from New York to Cornwall, England, in 1952, was scheduled to have farewell ceremonies. To grieve for the magnificent ship, which is almost as long as the Chrysler Building, people traveled to the city of brotherly love. However, some oily residue and Coast Guard concerns have made the journey south more difficult. According to Nick Tomachek, public relations officer for Okaloosa County, which just bought the long-decaying SS United States to sink off the Gulf of Mexico coasts in the Florida Panhandle, this is a large project and requires multiple steps to ensure a safe move. To guarantee a safe ship transfer, including Coast Guard requests, Okaloosa County is collaborating with federal, state, and local agencies, Tomachek told CNN. However, the ship's transfer from Philadelphia to Mobile, Alabama, where it would be prepared for sinking, has not been given a new date. What went wrong? In late November, the U.S. Coast Guard issued a Captain of the Port order to the ship's Florida County owners, which served as the main obstacle for the ocean liner. The SS United States was unable to proceed because it may not have suitable stability for the intended transit and presents a hazardous condition to the port and waterway, according to a copy of the port order that CNN was able to get. For almost 20 years, the ship has been idle at her Philadelphia port as environmentalists have labored to find a new use for it. A large amount of oily residue present and a potentially compromised tank were also noted by the Coast Guard. According to the Coast Guard, the county must repair the ship's structural integrity and show that it can endure the anticipated arduous voyage before it can begin transferring the ship south. However, there have been encouraging indications. A naval architect/engineer to conduct stability tests, which are now complete, was employed by Okaloosa County, the county informed CNN on Friday. Tomachek said that the Coast Guard approved the testing on January 8th and that the next stage is to create a tow plan that takes tidal conditions into account. This week, the Coast Guard informed CNN that positive progress has been made in preparing her for deployment. The plan, the fine, and the eviction. Because of her exceptional beauty, her 1952 transatlantic speed record, and the fact that she carried some of the most valuable goods in the world, such as many U.S. presidents and Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, the SS United States has captured the hearts and imaginations of Americans for more than 70 years. In 1969, she was removed from service. The praise never stopped. However, the enormous ocean liner, larger than the Titanic, had a serious issue. In July 1952, the SS United States set sail for Europe for the first time, sailing along the Hudson River in New York. Harris, Jacob/AP/file. Following a series of court cases, the SS United States was forced to leave the port where she has been docked since 1996 last year. According to Susan Gibbs, head of the charitable organization that has owned the ship in recent decades, the SS United States Conservancy, we were on a kind of furious search for an alternate parking spot. Gibbs is the granddaughter of William Francis Gibbs, who designed the ship. Attempting to sell the ship as a mixed-use development in an urban waterfront setting, for instance, the Conservancy hoped to preserve or reuse it for years. Unfortunately, we couldn't find another spot for her, in part because she's so amazing. It's hard to dock because she's so big, Gibbs said. The time pressure caused by the eviction, however, was followed by a new idea from an unusual bidder. The ship was purchased by Okaloosa County in Florida in the autumn of 2024 with the intention of sinking it and building the largest artificial reef in the world. According to Jennifer Adams of the Okaloosa County Tourist Development Department, I don't think of it as purchasing to sink it. I think of it as welcoming it into our family. The SS United States will be dragged down the East Coast and eventually to Mobile, Alabama, where it will be stripped and prepared for sinking. The ship will next make its permanent home 20 miles, 32 kilometers, off the coast of Destin, Florida, in water that is around 180 feet, 55 meters, deep. Originally planned for mid-November, the departure was postponed due to weather conditions in the Gulf of Mexico. The Coast Guard's directive further delayed the trip a week later. The county verified that Okaloosa County was required to pay a one-time penalty of $100,000 since the ship did not relocate by December 14, 2024. Although the ship's departure from Philadelphia is still uncertain, Tomachek said that they anticipate the ship being sunk in the Gulf of Mexico by the end of this year, or the beginning of 2026. Sinking a symbol. As a reef, Okaloosa County believes the ship will attract fish and other creatures and become a popular site for scuba divers. Their shipwreck home won't be the only one. We have sunk 14 vessels in the last 4 years, Adams told CNN. It supports the local economy. Our fisheries are thriving, and people come to dive rather than just sit on the beach, Adams added. It will sink in 10 to 30 minutes, while the ancient ship took years to construct. After you open it and pull the plugs, it's slow, and when it reaches the very top, the air goes to the top and it goes down pretty quickly, Adams told CNN. After it is approved to depart Philadelphia, the SS United States will be converted into a diving site and marine ecosystem. Media Punch /MP30/4/IPX/AP. After that, a group of county-employed divers and marine scientists will ensure the ship finds its final home. Usually a week or so later, you start to see creatures, plants, growth, and coral, Adams added. Gibbs and the Conservancy did not want to sink the ship, but they saw it as the wisest course of action after the eviction. We kept her from being scrapped, Gibbs said, adding that the county and the Conservancy want to work together to construct a museum that will commemorate the ship's history. Good luck on your journey to the SS America. Prior to the most recent Coast Guard delays, Gibbs said, watching the SS United States leave this pier and set out on a new adventure will be difficult. However, I will muster the courage to say goodbye to her and go with her on her next journey. People from all across the nation traveled to Philadelphia to see and commemorate the artwork before to its last journey as word spread about the eviction and probable sinking. John Sabatos just traveled from New York to visit the ship with his mother, and he stated, "I'm heartbroken." In reference to the SS United States' previous existence in New York, he told CNN, "It would have been really great to see her in the New York City skyline again. It's still here, however, so we have some time for today and we'll see what the future brings." Supporters of the ship and those who traveled across the Atlantic on her decades ago were given a special boat tour by the Conservancy in November. Kelly Micka, who painted a portrait of the SS United States on an electrical pole across from the pier for many weeks, stated, "It's heartbreaking to see it go. What a wonderful landmark." Posters with handwritten inscriptions saying goodbye to the ship have been put up around the fence lines enclosing it. "I appreciate you bringing my family to the United States. We appreciate your service, and you will always be remembered. Enjoy your final journey, American legend." It's unclear exactly when that last journey will begin.